18 months ago, Kobbie Mainoo was playing for Manchester United's under-18s. Now, in only his third start in an England shirt, he bossed the midfield in a European Championship semi-final. At every hurdle in his young career so far, he's walked over it, composed, calm. We're all witnessing something very special happen, and no matter what happens on Sunday, a star really has been born, and everybody now sees that. Manchester United fans have been enjoying watching Kobbie Mainoo's rise. And there's been loads of other fans, you're overhyping him just because he's a Manchester United player, you're blah, 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 blah. So many of those people have changed their tune. And Kobbie Mainoo has changed England since he came into the team. Gareth Southgate made a mistake to leave him out, but since he's been in that team, England have looked so much better. And just to see Kobbie Mainoo's continued rise as a Manchester United fan, as I said in the intro, we're witnessing something special here, ladies and gents. Boy, oh boy. Get a midfield built around this lad. But that photo there with his dad, with his mum, with his sisters, with his family is beautiful. It's glorious to be watching Kobbie Mainoo play alongside Declan Rice and look like the £100 million midfielder. Every single turn in his young career so far, he's knocked down the doubters. He's beaten the obstacle that was in front of him. Nice bike. Anyway. And he did it in that Euro semi-final. That's him on Instagram there celebrating and everybody's getting involved. One more game before Kobbie Mainoo maybe lifts the Euros. And this is quite funny actually. Go along here. There's this little Gascoigne video that he's slapped.
No, a way to get me shoot measured. Yes!
What about your start to the game?
It wasn't bad, was it?
Man, I have to love Gascoigne. But look. Don't take my word for it, okay? This isn't just me waxing lyrical about Kobbie Mainoo and what we're witnessing and what we're watching. Here's Paul Scholes saying that he is 10 times the player that I was at 19. And Paul Scholes again. Mainoo will make you play. Foden and Bellingham will win you games. And Ollie Watkins. Don't listen to just them. How about Clarence Seedorf? He's called the Stockport Seedorf. This is what Clarence himself said. He reminds me of a young me with his body and his movement. But the thing that he has that I never did is his maturity on the ball at such a young age. The sky's the limit for him. But let's move on from Clarence Seedorf and listen to what Ian Wright had to say about him. Give him the keys, he said about Kobbie Mainoo. And let's move on from him. Let's move on to Fabregas. Mainoo plays without fear. To go down a little bit more, not only is he the future, he's the present already. Nah, he's just an overhyped player here. Let's move on from Fabregas to Roy Keane. I played in that position, but he is doing stuff that probably took me 10 years to learn. And then we look at rival fans. And I think that's where probably the main reason why I'm doing this video here. It feels like I've been on board the Kobbie Mainoo hype train all season long. Not just this season, not just last season, but the season before. I watched the youth team. I watched the under-18s team with him and Alejandro Garnacho. Both of them being the standout players in that tournament. And then Mainoo came into the first team. You're like, oh, it's Goodison Park. There's a protest against Premier League. How's he going to cope with that hostile environment? I don't know, like maybe just play man of the match. Oh, no, okay, Goodison Park, all right, fine, but probably not away at Anfield. He wouldn't be able to do that. Completely and utterly composed and totally calm. Away at Everton, done. Goodison Park, boxed off. Anfield, boxed off. When he scores his first goal, I think this is still one of my favourite photos. That goal, it's the complete opposite of stay calm. United, what was it, 3-2 up with 15 minutes to go? I can't remember what it was. Then, we were... What was it? 3-1 up, and they came back to 3-3, and then him in the 95th minute nutmegged, skipped past another player, curled it into the bottom corner. It's the complete opposite. It was absolute bedlam. One of the goals of the season. The celebration said it all. Then move on. The FA Cup final. We won't be able to do anything against Rodri, which, by the way, we'll see again on Sunday. Come on, Kobbie. Anyway, he won't be able to do it in the FA Cup final against Rodri, against City. How about scoring one of our goals of the season in terms of a team move, being named man of the match, being named, player of the tournament, and winning the FA Cup? I can't do that. Or how about, going to make your England debut and being named player of the match? Or how about, I don't know, Go to, oh yeah, every single game he's played at the Euros. Bowled through it, strolled through it, swaggered through it. Calm, composed, and absolutely everything that we have seen all the way back to this moment. And this is the greatest compliment you can give Kobbie Mainoo, and it's the utter truth as well. I didn't see anything new from Kobbie Mainoo against the Netherlands. I just saw him continue what he has done since he was 16, 17. He plays the exact same way, and it is translated to top-level football. And that's what makes him special. Harry Pinero tweeted this, and I'll tell you what, it's kind of what it feels like. You're watching Kobbie Mainoo, and you want to protect him. You want to put your arm around him, and you want to you feel like a proud dad watching this academy youngster not just take to top-level football, but just look like he's always been there. And the world is his oyster, right? Manchester United have to build, and I've said this a few times before, and I will say it again, we have to build a midfield around this man. I'd say we've got two players that we can build a midfield around. Kobbie Mainoo is ultimately who you build it around, but Bruno Fernandes, both of those two, find that third person. Find that, truth be told, find that Declan Rice. Declan Rice would have been perfect. If we had Declan Rice in this midfield, Declan Rice with Kobbie and Bruno, would we win things. But even Kobbie's agent, he's been an agent at the same time as well. Is there anything Kobbie can't do? I don't really know. But I think that's why I'm doing this video, right? It feels like the narrative kind of, not the narrative, but the opinions towards Kobbie Mainoo switched with that Netherlands game. And now everybody's going, you know what, United fans? You were right. You've been right this whole time. And Kobbie Mainoo is just at every hurdle in his career so far. Every time where somebody thought, is he going to be able to, is that going to translate, or is he going to get found out? Even when he made that mistake away at West Ham, did that really dampen, did that play on his mind? No, he just moved straight on. Next game. Kobbie has been the real deal the whole time. But he's even surprising me just to do that in a Euro semi-final. And who's to say that he can't do it again in the final against Rodri? Because he's already done it in what was Manchester United's biggest game of the season with huge pressure on our shoulders and huge pressure on his shoulders. Dominated a midfield that had Kevin De Bruyne in, that had Rodri in, and that had Kovacic in. And now the tactics really helped there. But I'm looking forward to seeing it, mate. Imagine if he can do it. Rodri is probably the greatest player in that position in the world. And he's already done it once. Can he do it again? We'll find out. But no matter what happens on Sunday, if England get pumped, if England win, it doesn't matter. Kobbie Mainoo has fully announced himself now. And world football is looking. And the fact that he can be as good as he is at 19, as I said, don't just take my word for it. Listen to Paul Scholes. Listen to Clarence Seedorf. Listen to Ian Wright. Listen to Cesc Fabregas. Listen to Roy Keane. Listen to rival fans. Everybody understands what we're watching, and it is the beginning of what could be an incredible career, and I hope it's always in a Manchester United shirt. It feels kind of a privilege to have watched the start of it, and I can't wait to watch the rest.